Welcome back everyone to another episode of the Puerto Rico Sky Views. Emmanuel here with another episode. Now, for today we're going to review a very special lens. It is one of the smallest lenses that I own and also one of the most used in my camera bag. I am a hybrid shooter. I shoot photo, video for Airbnbs, food photography, portrait sessions, you name it. I do it all. And I am always on the lookout for lenses that I can bring with me in every single shoot and that will give me a lot of functionality, a lot of versatility. One of my favorite lenses is the 15-35 RF USM-IS L lens because of its features, but I have one of lens that is, you saw the title, you know which lens I'm gonna talk about, and it is the It is the 35mm STM IS lens. This lens for me, it has a very special place in my camera bag because it has a 1.8 aperture, which is really good for letting light in and getting low noise in video, shooting in low light, as well as that spectacular image stabilization from Canon, which this lens has. And it may let you shoot some really nice landscapes in low light. You may do astrophotography with this one. I have done time lapses on the Milky Way with this lens, and it works wonders. Why it works wonders? Well, if you look at the lens, if you look at the very front of the lens, you can see all of its aperture blades, and they produce super soft bokeh and will work really reliably. Another spectacular feature of this lens, it's its size, because it is 3 inches tall, almost 3 inches tall. I don't believe it's 3 inches tall, but at its girth, it's only 2 inches. So if you compare it with something like the 100mm macro, which it's also a macro lens, this lens is almost like 3 times as big as the 35mm. Amazing, right? So this lens will occupy very little space on your camera bag, and it will produce macro images, macro video capabilities as well. Low light performance is amazing with that 1.8 aperture. It's a bargain for the price. Just recently, I shot an entire video sequence for one of my YouTube videos, the one reviewing the EOS R for 2022. And I shot 2 versions. I shot the one with the EOS R and one with the EOS R5. I'm gonna play you guys the one with the EOS R5 because even though the EOS R5 has 45 megapixels and it has this very demanding sensor on its own, I believe that this lens can produce high quality images. So check it out. So guys, as you can see from that video sequence, amazing color contrast, sharpness and everything. A lot of these shots were at 1.8. I used an ND filter for it. If you look at this lens right now, it's on sale on Alorama and it includes 3 ND filters. I think that's a bargain, it's a steal. Right now the pricing of this lens is $399, which it's a little above the 50mm f1.8 and the 16 f2.8 that Canon recently released, but I think without a doubt that you should save your money and go for this one instead. You will get image stabilization, you will get 1.8 aperture, the bokeh produced with this one is really soft, the stabilization is really great. One of the cons that this lens may have is the STM motors. The STM motors are really soft in terms of focus speed. They are a little bit slow on that part, but it may be a pro for some people that may like that soft focusing effect. instead of the quick and snappy photos that much of higher end Canon lenses have with their nano USM motors. The STM motors seem to be a little finicky in dark situations, so I don't recommend this lens if you are shooting in complete darkness. But if you're shooting in controlled environments with let's say fill lights and accent lights or some sort of light, controlled light environment for that matter, you will be alright with this lens. In the photography kind of things, I think this lens is great. Great for travel, great for when you have a controlled light environment, like when you're using speed lights or this strobe lights or any source of controlled lighting, because this lens with its macro capabilities can produce tack sharp images and will not disappoint in a professional photo shoot or in paid work for that matter. Who do I think this lens is for? I think this lens is for the majority of the hybrid shooters out there, people that love to do photography, love to experiment with macro capabilities, and that f1.8 aperture, awesome for astrophotography. I've even shot Milky Way time lapses with this lens and they look awesome. Also, in terms of pixel peeping, the chromatic aberration produced from this lens, it's a f1.8 and it's easily corrected in post. If you have Photoshop or Lightroom, which most of you may have, you can fix longitudinal chromatic aberration really quick, really easy. Just a click of a button and this lens will produce unbelievable images. So, do I recommend this lens? Totally yes. I'm in love with the lens, no secret at all. And for its price, I think it's one of the best offerings from the R mount. And well, I hope you get one and you see for yourselves the amazing capabilities that this lens has. So guys, if you enjoyed this short review of the 35mm f1.8 macro STM lens, please leave a comment, press the like button, subscribe, that will help me a lot. And if you like this content, go check out my videos, check out my other videos on an RF mount, and see you guys in the next one.